All right, Miami has had a season to forget this year. Only 2 wins on the books so far, and let's not pretend that the type of wins Hurricanes fans expected. Wins over App State and Central Connecticut. Last night, though, was heartbreaking. Virginia grabbing the catch of the year for a touchdown. Miami missing the game-winning field goal as time expired. Manny Diaz and the boys are now 2-3. This season has gone off the rails. This is what Coach had to say about it after the game.
The 5 games have been disappointing, and there's no other way to say it. You know, there's no excuse you can make. It's not what this team is. There's more in us. Our players believe that. I think that's what was on display there late. But again, we've got to find a way to make the plays at the end of the game. So this team will battle. This team will fight. And you know, despite all the adversity they've been through, we were on the verge of doing something really, really special tonight, and just came up short. And so. We got to take that part of it, and we got to build off of that.
All right, there were high expectations for Miami coming in this season. David Pollack, where'd this thing go wrong?
You know, it's interesting. We had this conversation last week on Game Day, and Kirk talked about the AD, the president, everybody buying in and making football a priority, and that they haven't really done that. So that's part of the equation. Obviously, Manny Diaz is gonna garner some of the attention, but it's so different to watch Miami over the years, and we've wanted them to be back so many different times, but the talent level isn't what we've seen in the past, and D'Eriq King not being healthy. I think last year he masked a lot of different issues with this offensive line, and now coming back up on ACL, being banged up, then getting his shoulder banged up, like he isn't able to perform at that high of a level. They're a transfer destination. You see so many people transferring in left and right, and at some point, you know, they've got to build some culture and recruit at a high level and try to get this thing rolling again, because it's been not good for a while now, guys.
Yeah, and I think even the issue, even just going to last night's game, you watched that game, you saw simple and silly mistakes. You saw a muff punt that went off of a face mask, and yes, it was recovered, but that's a simple, silly mistake. You saw a safety backed up at your own goal line. That's a simple, silly mistake. I mean, it was just like they were making mistakes that good teams don't make. That's what you see when you watch the film. You saw them giving up sacks. You saw all these things, right? Not tackling well. That's what I saw when I watched Miami. It's somewhat of an undisciplined football team. Right there, that play right there. I mean, it's just undisciplined all across the board. And so people get excited. You know, it's like, oh, we got these 5-star recruits and we got these great recruiting classes. You need 5-star coaches. You know what I mean? And yes, Manny Diaz takes some of that blame, but it's the coaches under him, right? Look at the offensive line. Why are they not blocking the way you would expect a solid offensive line to block? I don't put that on players. I put that on the coaches.
Yeah, but just stick there for a second, Acho, because by the end of it all, doesn't that all fall under the umbrella of expectations for Manny Diaz?
It does. You know, and I know Manny Diaz. He was at Texas, so I know him from then. I know him even personally. And so I know that he's going to try and set a higher standard. But sometimes it's not just about the head coach. It's about the other people around you who are on those positions. Who's taking that responsibility? Going back specifically to offensive line. Yes, we understand that some offensive linemen are injured, but there was some bad O-line play yesterday, right? We understand D'Eriq King didn't play, but he hadn't been playing great all season. He's coming off of an injury. And so it's not about a backup quarterback or all these excuses. Fundamentally sound football is not being played in Miami right now.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.